Nobody wakes up in the morning and just decides, I don't want to be married. It happens in a thousand little wounds, 1,000 paper cuts, a missed conversation here, ignoring one another there, feeling overlooked, feeling unheard, feeling like we're strangers in the night. It happens over time. No, it doesn't just happen just over time. The marriage did not die, it eroded over time. Erosion is what happens in marriage, and that's a challenge that we face in this time. Today, we're going to look at that because one of the great foundations that we have for society as a whole and for our lives is marriage. Let's look at it. Well, welcome back to Wake Up. I'm so glad that you're with us on today. I'm Mathews, Vincent Mathews with Akili. Yeah. What?
Mathews. All right.
Okay.
This is Mathews today.
Yeah, I'm Mathews and Mathews. So yeah, Vincent Mathews here. I'm glad you're with us. Listen, over 3,000 of you joined us last week, and we're happy about that. We're so happy that you joined us. We're so happy that you're with us. And that's on one platform. That's only on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then there were those who joined us on TikTok as well as YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it's actually that number is actually over 4,000. 4,000 of you joined us, and I just ask that you do one thing that you like or love or whatever you want to do. Mark this Wake Up broadcast as well as share it with somebody else. Share it on your platform. Share it with your page because the information we're sharing may bless someone else. Today, we want to shift to another one of our foundations. I mentioned that God gave me 3 foundations, and everything that we deal with. They're intertwined, but everything we deal with is marriage and family, parenting, and the end of everything, the end times. Last week, we talked about end times, and we got into the end times, and we saw the dragon in Revelation 12 that was waiting to eat the babies, and we saw that there's an attack on the next generation. Well, fatherlessness and a rise in crime is directly tied to our marriage rates. And marriage is so important to God. Marriage is not a governmental thing. Marriage is not something that was created civically. It was created by God from the beginning. He said it is not good that man should be alone. And he created a helpmeet, a helper. That's not an inferior person, by the way.
No, it's not.
No, that word helper is the despot of the oikos, the boss of the house. That's what it really means. The boss of the house. The wife is the head of the house. The husband is the head of the wife. That's a whole nother thing. Let me just.
And the word helper that's used in Genesis is the same word helper that Jesus uses to describe the Holy Spirit.
The Parakletos, the one to come alongside to help you. Yeah, so it's powerful. It's a powerful position. And when applied biblically, it's a beautiful thing. The problem is that the world's view of marriage has crept into marriage. And so as we look at this, first, before we even talk about marriage, I've known you all your life, you know?
Yeah.
I've been around you all your life. One thing I know about you, that from your earliest teen years, you chose not to live like all your peers.
Yeah. In many ways, yes.
Yeah. I'm impressed by that because you're a better man than I was.
I try. You know, we everybody has their things though, you know,
right,
that you got to deal with.
But you chose to live a holy life. You chose to look, and you even talked about, we even prayed for at an early age your future wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you found that as you got older and started trying to court, you were looking for a wife. That wasn't actually what people your age were interested in.
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, I was wilding out a little bit too. I was talking to different ladies sometimes.
Right.
It wasn't always perfect,
right,
but looking for somebody that you wanted to be with, it was weird out here. Especially I was dealing with primarily Christian women. So
what you thought were Christian women?
They church women. Let me say that I was dealing with women from church.
Right.
So it was really interesting because you would expect a certain level of understanding that you have with somebody else, but it wasn't there.
We always taught and teach in the church that you really date or court who is a potential spouse.
Mm-hmm.
So you followed that. and you would meet a young lady in a church somewhere. This church didn't exist at the time.
Yeah.
And you would say, hey, something about, in the future, marriage or something like that. What kind of responses did you find yourself getting to?
It's worse than that because I never even got to that point with most people. I was picky. Let me tell these people that I was picky. I didn't. If you chew the wrong way, I'm not gonna do. I wasn't gonna. Well, it depends. If the conversation wasn't going right, I'd already give up on the conversation with certain people before we even get to the point of talking or anything like that. But I never got into conversations with marriage with anybody because it never got to that point.
I'm talking about later on toward the upper years.
Remember?
You were down because you were looking for a potential wife. You wanted someone who was saved, filled with the Spirit, on fire for God.
Intelligence is important to me too. I can't be sitting with somebody that we can't have a conversation.
And what was discouraging about it?
Well, everybody wanted to play. That's all I'll say. I mean, we're young. I can't. As I look back at it, I mean, people are young. They're not trying to be that serious in life. And if you're hearing from other people that you got to enjoy college and do all this stuff, including from people in the church, because there's people that try to tell me that, you in college, you got to go and do all this stuff.
Your royal oats.
Yeah. So if you're hearing all that, obviously when somebody's, you're talking to somebody, you're just trying to have fun. You're not trying to do anything serious.
But you were trying to do something serious.
I was. And then, I tried, it wasn't going to work out. Because at 20, I gave up. I said, I'm not going to do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting to.
Yes,
right?
but, You're
like, I'm tired of trying. I'm looking for a wife. I thought I could find a wife. And
I was just like, I'll wait till later and focus on other stuff. Yeah. Because, it wasn't important. But then the next year I found the one.
You found your wife, the one, here at church here, by the way.
Yes.
Interesting thing is that here you are, you're in college, you're working, positive, and these women, they say that, women are saying, why won't men commit? And you're trying to have a committed relationship, but you found that the women didn't want to have a committed relationship.
Yes, yes.
So,
and then the interesting thing is, so I can tell this story. So when I went to Obis, first there was two ladies who, when I first went, before I started dating Jemiah, the first week I got there, two ladies texted me and said, I'll come over whenever you want me to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Right. Mama always scared me. She said, if you have a baby, you're going to have to take care of the baby for yourself. And I can barely take care of myself, so I didn't want that. And then I tried talking to some girls at Obis. They wasn't trying to deal with me. Right. And then the week that I get with Jemiah, the next week, the same girls that weren't trying to deal with me were trying to deal with me. Right. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So we're not going to stay on this long. So you visit churches or whatever. You'll see somebody be interested. The girls in the churches wanted to play. Then you went to the university.
Obviously, they want to play.
Obviously, they want to play. They said, hey, I'll come over whenever you want me to. And then you met a virtuous woman.
Yes.
And you mentioned Jemiah a few times. That's
my wife.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's wonderful because now you've been married how long?
2 years and a few days. 2 years and 13 days.
All right.
14 days. 14 days.
I've been married 32, almost 33 years. So between 2 years and 13 days, almost 33 years between us.
13 days, 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Really?
I have it memorized. We got married at 2:10.
Okay.
Approximately.
I can't do that.
I got videos and technology, so I can do it.
I can't do it. I got married in the evening. I do know that.
I guess it's 2 hours and 36 minutes. I'll count when the ceremony started.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. It was a wonderful wedding. But you've been married 2 years. 2 years and 13 days, 32, almost 33 years. There's a big range between us, so we speak to a lot of people.
Yes.
There's a lot. I would argue that there's a lot of challenges in the newlywed years, and then
there's
challenges in the age where I
mitigated some of those though, because I lived with siblings. Because a lot of people when they get married, they never had to share a space with anybody before, so it's a lot of stuff. I made sure everywhere that we live, we got 2 bathrooms, and we both got our own separate bathroom. That solves almost 90% of marriage problems right there.
So that's we mentioned last week. I want to congratulate you one more time. You just bought a house.
Yes.
And you made sure you had 2
2 bath, full bath.
That's first world good kind of stuff.
Man, you got to though. You know, then
Yeah.
there's no issues of smelling stuff you don't want to smell, seeing stuff you don't want to see. It's all
right.
it's all separate.
Man,
Comment bathroom if you agree.
comment bathroom if you agree. All right. Extra toilet. Maybe that was my challenge. When I first got married, we only had one bathroom.
That's part of it.
Wow. I
It's
don't
a
know.
compound
According
interest.
to your theory.
It's part of the compounding challenge interest.
So, but your testimony, bathroom included, is a testimony of commitment. And that's a beautiful thing. It's commitment inside your marriage, but even at the wedding. And that's a beautiful thing. And you held the standard. And you found a virtuous woman. I must say, you have a phenomenal wife. I'm proud of the wife that you have. She's a virtuous woman. She loves the Lord.
Yes.
She's a good wife, and she's going to be a great mother to your children, our grandchildren. And let's talk about marriage just for a moment. There's statistics by a group called Divorce Plus, I believe they're called. Divorce Plus research says that of people being divorced, 70% of people being divorced say that they're being divorced because of lack of commitment. They say the reason why we're being divorced, 70% of them saying because of lack of commitment is the reason for their divorce. Now, I would argue that the name of lack of commitment is almost really never the cause. There probably is lack of commitment, but it's not the cause. Nobody, as I said earlier, nobody just wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I'm out, I'm not committed. There were things that happened to bring that lack of commitment. That lack of commitment is always the result of something that went unaddressed. And that's the problem that we missed. There were things that happened that were unaddressed. Nobody stops being committed on Tuesday afternoon for no reason. There's a reason that they had that commitment. A commitment may be eroded because of lack of communication. And through that lack of communication, there was lack of commitment. And nobody fixed it. And so you just drift in time. We're not communicating. We're just talking, but not communicating. Then intimacy went quiet. That's not just sex, but it's just intimacy, enjoying one another. And nobody named it. And then pain accumulated through that. Because now I'm being unheard. I'm not being dealt with. And nobody felt safe enough to say anything. When you hear that 70% say lack of commitment, what do you think?
I don't know, because here's the reason I don't know. Statistics rely on the accountability of people, and people lie all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it could be a lack of commitment, but I think it's a little bit more of wrong expectations.
Yeah.
So you could like for instance, before we got married, I told my wife, listen, we gotta wait like 2 or 3 years for me to make enough money for us to do certain stuff. So until then, we're not going to have a 90-inch TV in the house. Matter of fact, somebody just gave us a 65-inch. We've been dealing with 32-inch for the first 2 years of our marriage.
Right.
And I told her, we're not going to have the best TV. We're not going to have the
I gotta
best.
come see that TV, man.
We're not going to have the best everything, but we're going to be all right. I'm going to make sure you can eat. I'm going to make sure you got clothes. I'm going to make sure you got all the food and vitamins that you need. But you're not going to be able to get all the newest stuff whenever you want it.
Right.
So I think it's more of the wrong expectations, because
So you're saying in your age group or young people getting married have high expectations.
high expectations.
To think they can have what somebody who's been married 32 years have.
Yeah.
And you can't have what I have.
The men want 50-50. The women want 100% paid and don't want to wash dishes or cook for the man either. He got to work all the time, make the money, and wash the dishes. The men want the woman to work and make the money and wash the dishes. Everybody wants to be served.
Oh.
And nobody wants to serve.
The man wants 50-50. You going to split these bills with me.
You're going to split these bills, but you got to cook and clean. The woman wants 100-0. You got to clean and wash dishes every night, but you're the only one working. Wow. It's like, that's not how it works.
And the notion, you brought up something, because the notion of the 50-50 marriage is a lie, and it creates separation. It creates isolation. It's 100-100.
Yeah.
I give 100. My spouse gives 100, and it works out in that way. So I'm with you on that.
I'm going to use, unfortunately, he had a Netflix comedy special a long time ago I watched. Chris Rock, because he got divorced. He was talking about it. He said, marriage is like a band, and sometimes you're the lead singer, and sometimes you just playing tambourine, and you just got to accept which side you're on.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes you're gonna be playing tambourine because you got to wash the dishes, sweep the floor, and do everything while the wife's sitting down. And other times you gonna be sitting down and she gonna be doing everything.
Right. I just saw a video of you last week cooking for your
Yes.
cooking salmon. I've never put mint on my salmon. I'm gonna have to try that.
It's not. Don't put too much. You got to put a small amount.
Okay, I duly noted. So actually, in my mind, the wound that kills most marriages is not the dramatic one; it's the quiet one. Mm-hmm. People are quiet, not betrayal, not blow-ups, silence, unspoken expectations,
Yes,
unreasonable expectations, or not able to be truthful with one another. Right. So that's not the comfortable silence, because sometimes silence is good, but I'm talking about the silence where we're not being real with each other, the silence of pain with nowhere to go, nobody to talk to, we can't share with one another. And so I have pain, you hurt my feelings, you did this, you did that. And in my book, I wrote a book, Heartbroken and Unheard. It'll be coming out at the end of the month on marriage, and we've already started with marriage things with it. My book calls this the hidden grief in marriage. That there are many people who are grieving their marriages because they're mourning what they once had and they've lost it. They had a relationship, they were there, they had a relationship, but they're in grief because it's eroding to the point it looks nothing like it began with. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Unspoken expectations is the biggest one most of the time because, you know, like you said before, your dad used to always get breakfast from from grandma, and you told your wife, why aren't you not making breakfast every day?
That's right.
Like, I didn't know I needed to make breakfast, part one. And part two, you don't even eat breakfast.
That's correct.
But, you know, I think it's unspoken expectations because I think it's comparison too because, you know, you see somebody on social media, like they see me cooking on social media, so now they're going to look at their husband and say, you never cook, you never do this. Little do they know that's my day to cook.
Right.
And I know how to cook. Your husband probably don't know how to cook.
Right.
And now you're expecting him to make you a salmon, and he don't even know how to make salmon.
Yeah. He don't even like salmon.
He don't even like it.
Yeah. You allergic to it.
And you allergic to it. So, you know, comparing your marriage to other people's marriage is always a recipe for disaster. But that's for life in general.
And the worst part is oftentimes not just comparing my marriage to yours, comparing my marriage to social media people I don't even know.
That's the worst
or
one.
Or the television movies. And I'm like, why can't we be like that? It's so romantic. And it's like, that ain't even real.
No, it's not.
You really can't compare your marriage to something that is not real.
He gave her husband a new gift basket. Well, he got 1 million views. You know, on YouTube, if you get 1 million views, you get $12,000. So he made $12,000 to give her a gift. Your husband making $19 an hour.
And you know, even I just want to say this when you said that, many people measure your commitment by the size of a diamond.
Yes.
That is sick.
And by the way, well, the De Beers are finding out now, diamonds are not as rare as they called them. It was all a lie manufactured to boost sales.
Well, we know. Because, you know, De Beers' capital is in Kimberley in South Africa. And the diamond mines, no one would be working it because they need to create artificial scarcity. Yeah, so that the diamonds stay up, that there's a higher supply than a demand. And so you think it's expensive. It's not that expensive.
No, and there's lab-grown diamonds that look just as good and cost way less.
Right. So for people who have bought into the trap of the world, to say, oh, he loved you. Look at that diamond.
Look at the size.
Look at the size of the diamond. Or look at this, that, and the other. And first of all, the debt that you're in it, you have a big diamond and don't even own your house. Mm-hmm. Or you have that and not even prepared for, don't even have certain things. So, okay. Yeah, you just brought that up.
I only brought that up because, people love to compare money, but it's like the things that you're comparing to are not even worth what you think they're worth.
So these are the silent patterns you see in people married in your time, and I think that transcends even in my time. Even in a 32-year marriage or anything in between, that's a challenge. I would say, though, you know, the couples that I worry about most are those who don't fight, don't argue. They're not even talking to each other. They've given up so much hope. They don't even discuss or debate or argue. Just like they're apathetic at some point. I don't know. You don't know about that yet.
I mean,
yeah, that comes over time. I mean, there are people who are not divorced, but they're living divorced. They're sleeping in separate bedrooms. They don't barely talk to each other. They're barely doing anything with each other. You do something I don't like, I don't even care anymore. It's just whatever. Mm-hmm. That's a point. That's kind of when the grief metastasizes inside.
Yes.
You in the early part.
I don't have those challenges.
It's worth fighting for. Yeah, that's on my side. On the people my age, you'll see people, they'll publicly act like they in love, get up, ooh, that's my sugar pudding, whatever. They don't call each other sugar pudding when they in the car. They don't even talk in the car. They don't barely even eat with each other. They do everything
Man,
separate.
That's not. I'm sorry for. It's sugar pudding that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at the situation.
That's older than my generation. Yeah, sugar pudding, baby. Yeah, sugar pudding will kill you, man. That'll give you diabetes. But yeah, and so many people think the absence of arguing means peace, but they have really just given up on each other. And they're just going through the motions.
Yes, they've confused peace with quiet.
Yeah. Yes, and quiet is not peace.
No.
It's just a quiet war. Or there are people who cheat on one another with their jobs. They just put more into their job. Mm-hmm. Or they cheat on them with their children. You can cheat with your children. Because number one in our lives should be the Lord. Number two should be our spouse. Then the children fall after. Because if you put your children for your spouse, if you and your spouse are not okay, your children are not going to be okay.
No, friendships too. Mainly friendships now.
Oh, man.
Particularly for ladies more than dudes.
Uh-huh.
Like female friendships can mess it up more for the ladies, because when dudes, like if you got a good wife and if I've seen it before at the barbershop or something. If you know your friends and they complain about their girls, like, come on, man, your girl don't do nothing. Right. You tripping. Mm-hmm. But ladies now, they be compounding on there. And the only reason I say that is because I've seen too many videos of people encouraging divorce because a husband did one thing. And it's like, y'all don't even know the full context of the situation, and y'all sided with this lady because you never trust a man or whatever.
Yeah, and then there are some reasonable things that a man needs to do in his house. He needs to provide. That don't mean he needs to provide a vacation every other month.
Yes.
That don't mean he needs to provide diamonds and Birkins and Fendi and whatever else. But there's basic provision that a man needs to do.
Precisely.
There's basic things a woman needs to do in their life, and that they need to bond together. What do you think, especially in your generation, causes marriages to stay together or to drift? I think you kind of talked about some of it. But
to drift is easy. Believing social media to be true and using that as a standard for your marriage without talking to real married couples and exploring your spouse yourself. Mm-hmm. And then what causes it to stay together is, for dudes, I'm going to talk for men because I can't talk for women. But I know for us, we have to love our wife as Christ loved the church. And one of the things that I think about all the time is when I sin, I'm like, man, as Christ forgive me, I got to forgive my wife even more and more. And then it's about loving her, not because of what she's done, but because of who she is.
Mm.
And just
she
like
has intrinsic value. Yes.
Regardless of if she take the garbage out or not, you know, or I'm only using that as an example, or put the garbage in a bag or not.
Right.
I should still love her and still do good things for her in spite of myself. And then
conversely, she should do the same for you.
Yes. But I say as a man, you're not even supposed to worry about that.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is our standard of the love we give should not be based on reciprocation.
That's correct. That is correct. Well, if she would have did this, I would have did that. First of all, suck it up, brother.
Yes. Right? Regardless of what that's why I focus on the dudes. Regardless of what she doing, we're supposed to be seen as we're supposed to act as a stronger one. So we're supposed to be able to endure hardship longer than they can. And if they are acting however they act, God will deal with them. Because
husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church.
Yes.
And we know that even when we were sinners, Christ loved us.
Yes.
And as we love our wives, in spite of, not tit for tat, I did something for you, now why not you?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
In spite of all of that, we still love them. And so even if
somebody might be disagreeing with us on this.
They do. Comments, that's why you arguing with your wife. Like sometimes you got to take the L. Men are very prideful. I just say, if it's gonna make her feel better, I lose.
Well, no, wait. Let's back up. I get what you're saying.
Hear me out.
You quoted me. Sometimes you got to take the L to get the W. I hear you. I hear that. But what I'm saying is, I don't ascribe to happy wife, happy life.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear for anybody listening. It's not happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life is dangerous because that means our home rests on the whims and the feelings or the emotions of one person.
Yeah.
But I think godly spouse, you're going to have a powerful house. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Some things you don't have to always have the last word. You have to win every argument.
And you're gonna take the L. Sometimes you want to watch a movie and she want to talk to you.
Right.
Imagine God like, I'm busy, I don't want to talk to you. You gotta just take the L and listen to her. You can watch the movie later.
Or you want to watch a movie and she want to watch another movie and you end up watching
once she go to the hair
girly flick.
Yeah.
And you sitting watching a girly flick. Lord knows. I have seen my share of girl. You know that.
I have too.
Yeah, and you have already seen it.
And you just gotta, because if you want to watch a movie, you can watch it when she gone.
Exactly. That's
if
what
you
I
want.
do.
If you really want to, you can watch it when she's gone. Like I like to read books, but sometimes as soon as I pick up a book, that's when Jemiah starts talking. I'm like, have you noticed? And we're just sitting on the couch. There's no conversation. But if I pick up a book and open it, now she want to say something. So if I'm always like, oh, what do you got to say? Then that's going to cause problems. But if I'm just going to be like, okay, I'll let her talk. And then one day she's going to be sitting there and not want to talk and I can read.
So in other words, if I can boil down what you said, it causes people to drift is selfishness.
Yes.
You got to be selfless.
Yes,
and
particularly for the men, because ladies are more catered to in society than men are. But so you have to be less selfish, even though you live by yourself and you're used to stuff being the way that you want it to be. We gotta cater to them a little bit more.
But I think too, I just want to add this because I'm exactly like you. I'm with you on that. But I think that does not exempt a wife from catering to or honoring or acknowledging their husband. And
no, it doesn't.
Because too often men feel so overlooked, and it's like that's what you're supposed to do. But then, you know what I'm saying? So I think it goes both ways in some ways. But I understand exactly what you're saying, because just God says, treat your wife as, not because she's weaker, but as the weaker vessel.
Yes.
That you can't treat a woman like a man.
And the more you love your wife,
and
the
nobody
more
want no hard wife.
She has no excuse,
right,
to not respect you and listen to you.
Well, interestingly, that in that passage when Christ says, "Love your wife as Christ loved the church," love your wife as you love yourself. He consistently says, "Love, love, 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 love," because if we love her, she will reciprocate that love.
Yeah.
And whatever you give a woman, a good woman. Now, you know who you married when you married her, right? A good woman is still gonna have some emotions, things of that sort, but a good woman ain't gonna tear down her house. It's not going to be crazy and demolishing and destroying and vexing and taunting, all of those kind of things. Because there's some abusive women.
Yeah, I will say, if you got a as you should woman and not a thank you woman, then you already in trouble.
Right.
Because that's an attitude problem that needs to change. There's ladies like, some lady said, she was on TikTok, she said, I'm grateful that my husband called 911 and took me to the hospital when I passed out. And people was like, that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. Yeah. It's like,
but she still can be grateful. She can still be grateful. Not wake up like, you better have called.
Yeah.
Like, he could have said, oh, she going to be okay and rubbed her or whatever.
Or I'm glad that my boyfriend got me. So if a girl posts that my boyfriend got me flowers, people going to be like, as he should have. Right. Are we supposed to celebrate that he's giving you flowers? It's like, what are y'all talking about?
But she put herself out there too by validating what he said to the world, to strangers. I think it'll be great, just as great, to just say, "Hey, husband, man, these flowers are great. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you." Because many men are overlooked and underappreciated.
Yes, they are. Yeah, and then the other thing is, if you do want to appreciate them the way they want to be appreciated. Because too often, ladies love extravagance. A man, you might say, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, I just want to sit down and read a book today.
Right.
And she's like, no, you got to do. If he says he want to sit down and read a book, Clear the house out and let that man.
Let that Negro sit down and read a book.
Let him read his book.
He don't want to go all run around.
He'll be happy that you let him read the book.
Yeah. Right. That's right. So loving each other how we should be, how we want to be loved, not how you want to love them.
Yes.
Yeah. Like for instance, flowers don't do nothing for your mother. So that means she likes them, but she likes them in the yard more than she likes them in the house because they live in the yard. But there are other things, which I ain't gonna tell y'all. There are other things I can do for her that will hit better than flowers. So I can't follow the stereotypes either. She don't want a box of chocolates with chocolate that you don't even know what you eating and half of them nasty. She don't care about Valentine's Day. But I better go all out for her birthday. You get what I'm saying? Valentine's Day means nothing to her nor me. And everybody can be doing whatever. That's good for y'all lined up at a restaurant somewhere. We're going to do what we're going to do. But there are certain days, not just a birthday. There are other days that are important to us that we go all out that maybe everybody else is not going out on. All out. There's some unspoken things. So I'm with you. I think that's phenomenal. And I think that's good advice to people in your generation or with your tenure as well as in my tenure. Because another thing that men, and we just going, man, we just I love talking to you because we just go.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens is that men, because we're men are competitive.
Yes.
So when we're competitive, we want to win. So you saw that woman, you heard her talk, you saw how phenomenal she was, how intellectual she was, you saw how so fine she looked, and you wanted her as your wife, and you did whatever it took to get her your wife. Then at the wedding, at 4:10 at your wedding, 2:10, I did the wedding, I don't know the time, at 2:10 at the wedding, you're like, I won the championship. For many, they then step back because I already won the prize, and you cannot rest on your laurels.
No.
You got to continue to woo her, to love her, to do all the things you did to get her.
Otherwise. Yeah, what's the point? That's what I was saying too. Yeah, that's why you got to continually serve.
That's correct. And the same for the woman, right?
Yeah.
The same for the woman. I mean, you want to hang out with me. You knew I went to go hanging out and doing different things. Now all of a sudden, it's like, you gonna walk around with a bonnet on your head and pajamas, and we going to the store and not looking like nothing or whatever.
Or on the flip side, now you all of a sudden you want to go hang out with your friends and go outside every Saturday at 11 p.m. and then you out till 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, that ain't gonna work.
That wouldn't work.
That ain't gonna work. Not no real marriage. No, not no real marriage. That's some Will Smith kind of stuff.
Oh.
So I had 5 erosion patterns. I was going to talk about them, but I'm going to name them really quick.
Go ahead. Okay. No, we can talk about them. Go ahead.
We got 5 ways that our marriages erode, and we won't stay long. I think some of them we covered, right? Unfinished conversations that become avoided conversations, right? Unfinished conversations that become avoided conversations. I list these in my book, by the way. Something came up. It was hard. The conversation was hard. Something came up. And you started to talk about something, and interrupted it. Then going back felt like you were starting to fight, so you didn't go back to it. But it's dangling. There's no conclusion, and this is serious. This is something serious to one of you. We need to circle back around, as they say in the corporate world. Circle back around and finish this.
And it's easier for men to avoid a conversation than it is for ladies.
It's over. Yeah,
ladies gonna think about it.
She ain't say nothing, but she thinking it. Yeah, she ain't say nothing. I guess it's over. Have the courage to finish the hard conversations. One hard conversation sometimes is the budget and money.
Yes.
Right? And either one, whoever, it is not necessarily the man or the woman who's best with money. There's one person in every marriage that's good at the money.
Like, I'm the money guy, and then one of my friends, the wife is the money guy.
Right. In our relationship, my wife is the money person.
And I'll be like, we get it. Yeah. he don't be following me on the finance part, and I'm like,
Yep. So, and a mistake in my marriage at the beginning was because my father was the money guy in that marriage. I thought the man was always the money guy. I was the money guy, and I was spending money on that. I wasn't handling it right. And then she took over, and I was like, oh yeah, you the money person.
Yeah,
you the money person. I was spending most of my money in our early marriage on books. I was buying massive books. I
didn't have thrift books at the time.
I had there wasn't no online books. I was going to the bookstore. There was a used bookstore in Detroit. I used to go to the used bookstore and come out with almost, 20, 30 books every paycheck. And then people saw me coming. Sometimes they'd suggest. And then there was a black bookstore on Outer Drive. I used to go to Black Books and buy brand new books. Man, I would buy so many books, all these black books. Then I go buy all these motivational books and all these other. Then I got saved and I buy all these theological books. Man, and finally your mother was like, what we supposed to eat? And I was like, eat? And when I was in college, we just, threw a little sausage in the ramen noodles and we was good. And she was like, the devil is a lie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not with you on that. I used to eat in college.
Right.
13 chicken legs was $5. I used to eat.
So that's one thing that erodes, not finishing those hard conversations. Avoidance. Then feeling swallowed instead of spoken. You felt something, you were hurt, you were disappointed, you were lonely, you calculated that saying that you were going to say, trying to say it out loud. You scared that it would start something, so you swallowed it. You were lonely, you whatever, but instead of dealing with it, you swallow it. And you just, nope, I ain't going to say nothing. You avoid it. That's kind of the same thing, but different. You never touch it. So I was disappointed about something instead of saying something. And when people swallow things, they say things like, she should have known. I shouldn't have had to. Or if he had to love me, he would have known.
Yeah.
And like, your spouse is not a mind reader. So now we're eroding. I never knew you were disappointed. And sometimes we swallow things with our spouse, but tell others.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do this. What? He didn't do that. Or she didn't do that. No, she didn't do that. She don't love you. I didn't even know. Had I known you were disappointed about that, we would have done something about it.
Yeah.
And so some things can't be swallowed. And then needs hinted at, but never directly named. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. So just saving something on the Amazon page and expecting that you're going to see it and buy it, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, or saying, I wish I had a bag of chips.
Yeah, I told you I wanted some chips. Yeah, you can't hint.
Especially with men. If you're a lady, just tell them direct. Men, we don't like word games.
Most men like us don't.
I do not like word games.
I can't figure out the puzzle. That's right.
I'm not about to, and I'm not trying to decipher it either.
Yep.
If you tell me you want it, I'll get it for you.
Woo! We had to get past that in my early days because I was hungry. I didn't know you was hungry. Remember we was passing, I said, man, that's a restaurant so and so. I was just driving. I didn't know if you want to stop. We would have stopped.
I worked on that before we got married. Like, if you want it, just say you want it.
Yep. So.
And also saying it doesn't make it less romantic, by the way.
Right. It doesn't make it. Yeah, I would love to go to that restaurant and have a date there. Yeah, it's still romantic when we went.
Yeah, it's still romantic.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because it doesn't have to be, I spontaneously
thought
know
about
what
it.
you said and now it's romantic. No, it's romantic. I know what you like now because here's the interesting thing that you got to learn. Likes and things that your spouse like and enjoy are going to change over time. They probably already have started to change. Mm-hmm. Have they changed?
Well, she's pregnant, so I'm.
Okay, yeah, all right.
This don't count.
Yeah, okay. Well, but then that will change something in the pregnancy, in the postpartum days, and even when the baby's a toddler, and you say, but you like doing. I don't like that no more. I don't like eating that anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. And so what we have to do is study one another and see how they change. And one of the worst accusations that people say is, "You changed." Like, yeah. I'm mature and I'm growing.
You'd hope they change.
Yeah, I hope you change.
Yeah.
Hope you don't stay the same as you were when I first met you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So finally, no, not finally. I almost missed number 4. Distance normalized instead of addressed. So now there's distance. But you say, oh, maybe it's the job. Maybe it's the children. Maybe it's just a hard season. And it's just normal. This is how it is. And the distance gets wider and wider. Instead of saying, wait a minute, there's a gap between us.
Yeah.
Why is there a gap?
You should be going on a date at least once a month. At least 12 dates in a year.
And spending time talking and spending time with each other. And so that gap is there. We have to address that gap.
And date don't mean money either. Like you said, you can sit on you can be a date on the couch with y'all sitting and talking.
That's correct. But we're being intentional to spend time with one another. You're right about that. And then the final one is, and I mentioned it earlier, pain compounding in private. You're in pain in private, but you're performing, celebrating in public, right? And that happens a lot, especially in the church world, where you expect it to be happy. Oh, we happy. You ain't talking in the car on the way to church. Then you come in holding hands, sitting down, smiling, and then go out and don't talk no more.
Now, to be fair, you don't want everybody in your business. So
Yeah.
if we have an argument at the house, I tell her,
Right.
if we didn't resolve it then, I'm not gonna let it affect us at church. Then when we get out of church, we gonna talk about it.
That's correct. And I think I'm not saying that we should be arguing in public.
Yeah.
I'm saying prolonged over time.
Yeah,
That we're putting on a air that we're not. If the only time first of all, you don't ever compliment another woman or another man. A woman shouldn't be complimenting a man talking about he looks good or you look nice. Man should never be telling a woman she look good, especially if you haven't told your wife that.
Yeah.
Right? And then definitely don't compliment your wife in front of people, but you never compliment her when it's just you two.
Yeah.
Oh, ain't she looking good? What you talking about? Ain't she looking good? You didn't tell me I look good at home when I put this on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So those are some of the challenges that I think bring about erosion. And to be honest, as we come to a close, I admitted in the book and I share, when I first got married, you were ahead of me. I was a fool when I first got married.
Oh, I have good teachers and good books.
Yeah. I was a fool. I hurt my wife in ways. In some ways it was out of ignorance, but I was a fool. I was insecure. I thought because I was a man, I was the man that made me the boss, right? And everything I say, I want to do whatever else. And I was a fool. I said things wrong. I did things wrong. I made decisions unilaterally. I was a fool, and I'm grateful. Now, that's not to say my wife ain't never hurt me either. She hurt me too. And if she was sitting here, she would admit that I ain't going to say she would admit she was a fool, but she would admit that she did some things wrong, right?
He's choosing his words carefully.
I am choosing them very carefully. I've been married 32 years, not for nothing, brother. Right, but she would admit that she did some things. We were at it like cats and dogs for a while, and it took us pressing into God. She joined a prayer group. Every day, this group had a prayer every day at noon. And as a matter of fact, she was pregnant with you later on, years later, that she was going to that prayer every day. When she got pregnant with you, there was a prophecy over your life. That's how we named your middle name, Moses. And as she prayed, she began to stop trying to control me and fix me. But she began to pray for me, and God began to fix me. And I began to do things. And she'd just shout, hallelujah. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, nothing. And then later she told me, there was something I prayed for that you would do, and then you did it. God dealt with it. I didn't have to fuss at you no more. Because the truth is, women don't understand. The more you try to control a real man, the more the real man going to show you can't control me.
Mm-hmm.
You try to control a man going to be like, no, you can't control me. That ain't about to happen.
Yeah.
And he might do it actively, or overtly or passively, but he's going to show you.
Yeah.
But God dealt with that, and I'm so grateful that I am still growing, I'm still evolving, I'm still becoming something, but I ain't that fool that I was before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say there's always hope for those who find themselves in a marriage that seems like there's no commitment, it has eroded, it's on life support, it feels like it's going to die. There's always hope. There's even hope for people. I've known people that have been divorced that got back together and remarried. Yep. I just met a couple. I was with a couple the other day, and they said, we grew up and we saw we were just stupid. We were just this, and we got remarried. Yep. I'm not telling everybody to go call their ex, because there's some people who are ex for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
But there is hope. And the foundation of marriage for our society is so important. And parenting and understanding biblical end times. I just thought to talk about it. You got any thoughts?
Only thing I can say is become a student for your marriage. Read more books about marriage, and listen to podcasts about marriage, and learn more about marriage, because you can never call yourself an expert.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, the book that I wrote, Heartbroken and Unheard, that book goes. I write it with Christian therapists,
Mm-hmm.
and we look at dysfunctional marriages in the church. I mean, not in the church, in the Bible. We look at dysfunctional marriages in the Bible and begin to break down what that looks like, what is that called, and how we apply that in the days that we're living in. What happened with Hosea and Gomer? What happened with Ahab and Jezebel? What happened with David and Michal? what happened with these various people that's in these marriages, and how does that apply to us, and how do we learn from their dysfunction? Why did God include this in the biblical text? And I break it down with therapists, and we look at some other things and really help people. The book is 21 chapters, and we'll have it out in a few days. But right now, I just want to share from that book. Just share. Freely we receive, freely we give. Just want to bless somebody today, and I thank you. 2 years, 13
days and 3 hours and 12 minutes.
3 hours and 12 minutes he's been married. And I've been married, forget this, get me a calendar. I've been married 32. It'll be 33 years, November the 26th. That I know. My anniversary was November 26th. Now, don't give me times. It was in the evening, about 6-something in the evening, and Eastern time. So, yeah, that's when I got married. But the bottom line is, I hope that helps. What we share will help people who are not married, too.
Yes.
I love it. Many people say delay. Wait till you grown. Wait till you live your life and grow up and do all these other things. But it's beautiful to see you and your wife. And to see, listen, in our church, since 2020, we've had 39 weddings.
I didn't count.
39 weddings. 39 couples got married. Some of them are living the time of their life, and some of them have some big challenges.
Yeah.
I don't know who's where. Everybody doesn't tell me when. But I try to teach and have different things in the church to try to help them and strengthen them. That's the number one reason I wrote that book, for those 39 families that have become wedded in this church.
Yeah.
39 couples since 2020. In 6 years, 39 couples have been married. That's a beautiful thing I'm excited about. Some younger, some older. Yeah, and everybody in between, but they're all brand new marriages. And it's a fresh start. It's a beautiful thing, and it reflects God. It's God's number one institution.
Oh, one more thing for the single people, if you're watching.
Yeah.
If you're single, because when I was single, I forgot to say it. I was reading books about I read a book, Boundaries in Dating. That was a Christian book. Books on dating and books on marriage. So if you're single and you want to get married, you should start studying and learning for the time for what you're looking for in a marriage.
I want to say this. I don't think I'm overstepping the boundary. This is about you. You know, I admire you. You know that, right?
Oh, well, thank you.
You know I admire you, right? I know that you not only did that, you made sure you were accountable when you were single. You actually called me, said you want to meet with me, and sat me down and said, I want to be accountable to you as a single man, and I want to share with you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you remember
I
that.
do.
At your apartment.
It was a horrible day.
Yeah. It was a good day.
It was good. You know, the nerve-wrackingness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you called me and said, I need to see you. And I came running to Oxford, Mississippi, and you said, I want to be accountable. That there was a level of maturity in your singleness that prepared you for your marriage, because it helped navigate you. Because just being accountable, we didn't talk every day about what you're doing, how you're doing, but just knowing that I am accountable, that's a great thing. So I admire you for that. That's I told you my upgrade. So I appreciate y'all for that, and I took that seriously when you did that. So that's why I wanted to start off today with your marriage experiences, because you were very clear, like, man, I don't know about these women. I'm trying to get married, and they trying to just play. I'm trying to be honorable. Yep. So, but praise the Lord now. Then as soon as you found your wife, all them women came running out the woodwork. And you're like, yeah, it is a lie.
Even a girl, I met her on the bus. She didn't want to talk to me, right? As soon as I started dating Jemiah, we on the same bus. I get off the bus. I'm like 20, 30, 40 feet away from her. She's screaming, saying, hey, how you doing? I'm like, you didn't want to talk to me. Now that I've been talking to another girl for a week, now you want my attention. Yeah, it was confusing times.
Yeah, forgetting those things which are behind. Yeah, I can tell the same story, though. That's interesting. Yeah, but hey, thank God.
Thank God.
Because she wasn't the one, that's for sure.
No, she wasn't
the one. Nope. Keep on riding.
And ladies, your social media determines your level of attractiveness to righteous men, at the very least.
Elaborate.
What you put on social media and potential spouses see, they'll mark you because of that.
In other words, I'm gonna elaborate on that because it's my guy. I've been with him a long time. Women that he thought might be a potential wife, once he saw their social media, he said, no, there's no way. And I know many men who have said that to me. Said, you know what she said, and know what she doing on social media?
There's things that people post. Even the memes that you share tell a story.
Yeah.
if you always sharing memes about revenge on people and not doing right, and and if you're always posting that, you know, we all have sin, but if you always posting that you on the 3-day cruise, you know what you do on a 3-day cruise. You drinking and sleeping.
Right.
Nobody gonna
or always posting body shots, turning around.
Yeah, you posting your whole body
shot,
for everybody to see.
Or you always in the mirror taking a picture of yourself in the mirror.
Or you always hanging out with a bunch of dudes on a Friday night at 11 p.m. and later.
Because you know the woman that be like, how am I look or how this. You know, the comments ain't what you notice there. It's her DMs that's getting loaded up at that point.
Yeah.
And that's how men think. That's how real men think. So the thirsty guys, they gonna be attracted to you. They're gonna write you in the DMs and they're gonna say, hey, beautiful, under the comments. But in his head, he gonna be like,
the dude that you won't want you.
They won't want you. That's for sure. I know that from mentoring and working with a lot of young guys, and you guys are on a different level now. I mean, and that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to open up a bunch of more stuff.
Yeah, we not.
There's a lot more. I was just about to say something that's going to cause us to have to spend 10 more minutes in dealing with. But yeah, and one thing is that I see a level of wisdom. First of all, there's a level of exposure you have that I didn't have, right? So I meet a girl, I don't know nothing about her. I know what I see about her. Back in my day, now you pull up her socials,
and you get to see
whether with her real name or not. You pull up her socials, and then you see a whole lot different.
And if you have more than one Instagram page, because Instagram recommend you more than once,
right?
So if you have more than one Instagram page, you're already on nefarious actions. Because why do you need more than one? Unless it's obviously like a bakery or something. But if if you got a Finsta. Nah, you're not ready yet.
Right, and this is how the young brothers talk to me. This is how they say, and I try to warn them. You know, I say it in church or whatever. They're like, whatever. You don't know how it is out in these streets. Like, that's why you keep attracting dogs. Because the real ones, the real men. Now we talk from a man's perspective now, right? The real men, they like, nah. Because, and here's the other thing, a man says, if you were easy with me, that means you'll be easy with somebody else.
Yes, and men are afraid of divorce now because there's been too many stories, and you see them all the time, of people having to pay child support and everything, and the man wants the kids, but they're forced to pay child support and things like that. So a lot of people younger than me now, because remember, like last week I said, everybody only sees the negative side of marriage.
Right.
Now people younger than me don't want to deal with none of that because I don't want to have to pay child support and all of this. Right. Because you decided you wanted to cheat. Now you're going to have my check and I'm living in poverty.
Or you're boring because that whole I need a bad boy, or conversely, I need a bad girl. If anybody want a bad girl or a bad boy, that comes out of dysfunction and pain.
They want bad. They want you to be bad and virtuous at the same time.
Right.
Do the things that are bad, but still be good.
Right.
Only do the bad stuff for me.
Paradoxal.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end there. All
right, guys.
Right? You can't say you were single and we didn't think about you. We definitely intertwined it throughout the entire day on marriage, because if you're and by the way, single means you're not married.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people, I'm not single, I got somebody. If you're not married, you're single, because there's no commitment until you say vows. Even when you're engaged, until you're married, you're single.
And the closest relative has power of attorney if that person's in a coma.
That's correct.
So if they go into a coma and you don't want to pull the plug, but his mama want to pull the plug getting pulled. Because
you're nobody.
You're not worth nothing.
Until you get married, you're nobody. Yeah. And that's not us dogging you. That's just the law.
That's the law.
Yeah. I've seen people been together with somebody 20, 30 years. They die, and the person die. The family come over and take everything, clean that house out, leave that girl or that guy with nothing.
And if you're saying, oh, he could just get a will, then he could just marry you too.
Right. Yeah.
And get a will. Then you have double layer of security.
Well, people say it's just a piece of paper. Well, so is a dog license, just a piece of paper. So is a car title, just a piece of paper. So is a deed to a house, just a piece of paper. So is your degree on the wall, just a piece of paper. And I can go on and on with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So is the warranty to your refrigerator, just a piece of paper. That piece of paper points to something that's very important. So it's not just a piece of paper. It
shows authority.
That's correct. Yes.
And until you got it, you have no power.
It's linked to a commitment that is substantial. that piece of paper signed represents a commitment. So there's so many things we have that are pieces of paper. Wait a minute. Money is just a piece of paper.
It is.
Yeah, so if you don't want that, give me your paper. Give me all your green paper. If you don't want just a piece of paper, give me all your green paper.
You can send it to 7701 US 51, South Haven, Mississippi.
38671.
Put my name on the envelope.
No, my name. I'm the host. You co-host. Give me all your money. Send the paper.
I'll gladly take that.
And just write the note. This is just pieces of paper. You can have it.
For Akili Mathews.
Yeah. I tell you what, we'll split it. We'll split it.
If it got my name on the envelope, I don't know, Bishop.
Just because it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's just a piece of paper. Little green piece of paper, that's all. Give it to us.
Don't forget to share this with somebody. Subscribe, like, comment, share it with somebody.
Yeah. It's been Wake Up, and I'm so glad to have you with us. Like he said, like and share. Please do that because you can help somebody to break from erosion before they die in their relationship. God bless you. We'll see you next time.